Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Katelyn, and today we're continuing the ABC challenge with M for Mako Kino. And for those of you who don't know, it was Lita Kino from the English dub of Sailor Moon, who is also Sailor Jupiter. So I was actually really excited to finally get to M because Mako is one of my favorite characters of all time. She has a very special place in my heart. I grew up with Sailor Moon. I absolutely adored the series, and I talked about it in my K for Korra, but I'll reiterate it here. Just to show how much I appreciate and love this series, I have actually a tattoo planned for Sailor Moon. On my inner wrist, I'm planning on getting the Jupiter symbol, and then next to it having like a little golden moon to symbolize it's Jupiter from Sailor Moon, and I'm actually super excited to get it, but I'm holding off. It's my reward for getting into shape and getting healthy and kind of being in the health shape that I want to be in. So that's my reward. I'll eventually get it one of these days. But I've always loved Mako. She was my favorite when I was younger. And I see a lot of myself in her. Like, if you were to compare me to fictional characters and try to find one that I was similar to, I think Mako would be pretty dang close. I share a lot of things with her that I never thought I would, but some I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of me. And others I'm like, yeah, that's for sure me. So, I mean, you could ask any of my friends that were also Sailor Moon fans, and they'll tell you the same. They'll be like, yeah, Katelyn's like Mako, for sure. Like one of the characteristics that I never thought I would share with Mako is in the series, she always liked cooking and baking, and she was actually like really dang good at it. And surprisingly, now that I'm out of my parents' house and I've been living on my own and have to get creative with cooking for my husband and I've actually think I've become a pretty decent cook. So that was just something I never thought I would share with her ever, because when I started cooking, I was awful. It was like, all right, well, here's a burnt egg. There you go. There you go. I messed up scrambled eggs, but now I feel I'm actually pretty decent. So I never thought I'd share that with her, and just how tough and cool she is. I tend to be that kind of tough friend, not like tough in a mean way, but I think Mako tends to stand up for her friends and really puts herself out there for her friends. And she is a super tough and buff and awesome character. I love her. And I really feel that that's really similar to me. So sometimes my friends actually call me like the mother hen of the group. I tend to be kind of overprotective of my friends and kind of mother them a little bit. At least I've noticed with a couple people, and they've pointed it out to me. And I think Mako does the same in the series. She kind of is that protective friend that will stand up to bullies or do whatever she can to be there for her friends. And I'm sounding like, I fight for my friends. I keep sounding like that. Or I sound like the cheesy 90s, I guess, commercial in between Sailor Moon episodes where it's like, you need to make sure to stand up for your friends and do what you think is right and make sure to eat your breakfast. It's like one of those. That's exactly what I sound like right now. But yeah, speaking of the 90s cartoon, I'm sorry guys if I'm jumping around. I'm just really excited for this episode. But speaking of the 90s cartoon, I have to say, out of the Sailor Moon iterations, the 90s one for sure is my favorite. I mean, technically it was made in the 80s, I think, but I think it reached the United States in the 90s, if I remember correctly. Well, I mean, I saw it in the 90s because I was a kid in the 90s. But I absolutely loved the 90s cartoon. Sailor Moon Crystal isn't bad, but it threw me for a loop because in the 90s one, they all had such distinct personalities. Or sorry, when I say they all, I mean all the Sailor Scouts had their distinct personalities, and I mean, they didn't really hide it. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, one of the things I noticed right off the bat is like Usagi or Serena, she already had such a distinct difference in the new series. Like, the old series, I just absolutely loved that she was obsessed with food and kind of ditzy and had these certain characteristics. And I just love that about her. But in the new one, she's much more, I guess, fragile and needy and doesn't have those fun and quirky characteristics anymore. I mean, here and there, they're present, but it's not as apparent. And it's same with like the other characters. I feel certain characteristics were kind of pushed to the side or aren't being used anymore. And I understand that the anime was kind of trying to go more towards the original manga, but I really missed that. I really missed the unique personalities and unique voices of the characters. And it was hard to watch. I actually haven't finished it all. Like, I got through a good chunk of Crystal. I think I'm a season behind. And certain things were awesome, like when they, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on their names. But Sailor Neptune and Uranus, when they were introduced, I absolutely loved their new introduction and their characters in general, because it's not like the weird censored, we're cousins in the 90s one. They actually like let it be how it was. So that was nice. But it was just, I don't know how to describe it. It just didn't feel right. Like, the animation is pretty and they improved it by like season 2 or 3, but it didn't feel right. I really missed the quirky funness of the 90s cartoon, and I'm sorry. I just went on this ridiculous rant, and I probably sound like the back in my day when Sailor Moon was fun. That's exactly what I sounded like, and I'm sorry. But I just love the old series, and I love the characters, and I could go on forever about Sailor Moon. Another fun little fact about Katelyn. When I was younger, I used to like go to bed at night and pray to God and be like, hey, so it'd be really cool if I woke up and had a sailor scepter like under my pillow. That would be awesome, because I'd love to be a Sailor Scout. Could you do that for me? I was really obsessed, guys. And I still really love the series. So it's not all God yet. I still absolutely love Sailor Moon. And I'm sorry I basically ranted for this whole thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I really like how this turned out. I was really proud of this one, and overall it was nice to draw Sailor Jupiter again, because I haven't drawn her in forever. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I have new videos every week. But I would love to hear what you guys picked for M. If you want to leave it in the comments below, I'd like to see what other ones you guys thought of. I thought of a couple other people I could have used for M, but Mako is very stiff competition. I love her way too much. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time.